Many of us who are driven, we're all about taking action and doing things. And I am all about action. But what I find is that certain types of action can be more helpful than others. And so, what I'd invite for you to do is look at your life and ask yourself, how much of the action I'm taking is consumption action where you're taking in information, you're taking in learning, you're taking in content, and you're soaking it all in, versus how much of that is me putting out content, creating content, giving value. Both types of action are important. But when we spend our time overly in one area or the other, it can it can stop us from truly getting the results that we want. Because if we're all about the consumption side of action, where we're taking in information, we're learning, we're the student, we're getting value, we're getting value, we're getting value. It's like an unbalanced equation, or but we're not giving any out. And so we're not able to get the result we want because we're not spending enough time taking the actions to give it back out. Spend too much time on the other side of the equation where we're giving out value, we're giving out content, we're teaching, we're explaining, we're sharing, we're providing resources. We spend most of our time there and we don't spend any time on the other side. It's also an unbalanced equation because you can't give value, you can't take out, you can't provide and create when you don't have anything within. You don't have anything there. And so what I would share is that we want to make sure this is a balanced equation. And it doesn't balance 50-50 all the time. But what it does mean is that we're highlighting both areas, both the giving ourselves the value and the giving our value out to the world. And I use the word value because when we think in terms of value, both in taking it in because we are a valuable person and in giving it out because one, it feels good to give out value. And it's a way for us to also learn more because when you take in information, it's like one layer of learning. When you try the information out, it's another layer of learning. And when you actually teach information to others, even if it's just talking it out loud to yourself, that's a deeper layer of learning that really ingrains itself in your brain. So you need all aspects of the equation. But when you spend too much on one side versus the other, the taking in versus the giving out, you don't give yourself the opportunity to fully create the results you want because you need to live in both sides of the equation. You can't just take in information because it starts to overwhelm you. It's like you're gathering all this stuff up and it just gets heavy and it starts to hold you down. And so you have all this information and then you want to readjust the equation by putting content out there, by going to events, by creating projects, by having that conversation that you've been waiting to have that you haven't had, by offering your opinion, by setting boundaries, by doing things that scare you, all those types of things, you're giving it out. But if you're on that side and that's where you hang out and you are just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and I don't even necessarily mean you have to be giving a valuable thing, like an actual item. It could just be that you're taking action, going to that event and you're sending that job app out and you're doing that interview and you're doing it again. You're doing it again. You're taking action, 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 action. You eventually, you don't have anything left to give. And so you start to pull away at parts of yourself trying to give it out and you exhaust yourself. So what we do is by balancing the equation is we get the in-between. We're not to the point where we're overwhelmed by everything and we're not to the point where we're exhausted by all we're doing. We're in the middle. We're in that sweet spot where we're truly showing up, learning and growing and creating and giving. We're doing both and that allows us to fully shine. Another way to think about this is like if you're somebody who works out you don't just go to the gym and work out. That's the end of it. You go to the gym and you work out, and then you come a protein shake or you eat. If you were to go to the gym but not eat, not taking food, not taking nourishment, not going to be able to do anything effectively at the gym, and you'll probably just hurt yourself. But if you don't go to the gym and you just eat and you take in nourishment, even if it's all healthy nourishment, and that's what you're doing, you're never exerting, just intaking everything, you're going to get unhealthy. You're just going to gain a lot of weight and feel terrible and groggy. This is what we're talking about. This is the same when it comes to taking action in our careers and our lives and our relationships. It's this idea that we need both sides. We need to be eating and working out or exercising or whatever the equivalent is for you. You need to be taking in information and learning, taking in feedback and growing, and giving things out, creating, trying, public speaking, presenting, creating, writing, whatever it is that fits with your career or your dream. You want both ends of that equation to get the results you're after. That's what I have for you. Thank you so much. Have fun balancing this equation, not necessarily meaning 50-50, but making sure that you're on both sides where you're taking in and you're also creating and putting out. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Bye.